Good morning, wonderful, fantastic, amazing geometry students. I hope that you're doing okay over this school closure period. I'm just coming to you today to review the third, assignment in the packet, which was for today, which is Wednesday, March 18th. So today's topic is angles. Oh, yes, wrong assignment. We're reviewing just the angle basics and the angle addition postulate. Before we start the assignment, just want to quickly go over the vocab that's really important for this particular topic. A right angle is equal to 90 degrees. An obtuse, which looks like this. So on your assignment, you should see which one is right. An obtuse angle is greater than 90 degrees, but less than 180. All of our angles are going to be less than 180. So it's going to look something like this. You know how you make those little faces on Instagram. And then a straight angle is going to be a straight line, so equals 180 degrees. Then I think, acute. An acute angle is going to be less than 90 degrees. So something like this. As long as it's less than that 90, that is an acute angle. So on your assignment, for the first 8, you're just telling me what kind of angles they are. I'll quickly look at 4 and 8 with you, just to look at some quick examples of what they might look like. So for 1 through 4, you're actually given a picture of the angle and asked to tell me what kind of angle it is. We see that this angle is acute because it is less than that direct 90 degrees. So number 4 should be an acute angle. Number 8 on your assignment should be obtuse. For 5 through 8, I just give you numbers. So because that number is greater than 90 but less than 180, that is the angle measurement for an obtuse angle. So that's 4 and 8. On the back, we're doing the angle addition postulate. This shows 2 problems to review with you because they are pretty much the same. So we're going to start with number 12. Number 12 on the assignment, it says that it gives you that the measure of angle TUP. So let's quickly review how to name angles. So we're given the measure of angle TUP. That means you're going to start at T, go to U, and then P. When we're tracing that trajectory from T to U to P, we are creating an angle TUP. So this angle is 26 degrees. They also tell us the measure of angle TUV is 126 degrees. So that means we're tracing from T to U to V is 126. So this 126 is actually this whole angle. This whole angle is 126 degrees. And they ask us to find the measure of angle PUV, which obviously is this angle here, PUV. If we don't know it, usually when we don't know something, we call it X, and we try to set up an equation to solve, which is what we did. So we know that the sum of the 2 smaller angles, so our 2 smaller angles are PUV and TUP. Those are our 2 smaller angles. When we add these 2 little angles together, we should get the whole thing, which is angle TUV. So all I did was jump straight to the numbers because I know for most people that's the easiest way, as opposed to just putting all the letters down first. So we're going to have X, this angle, plus this angle, 26, equals this whole thing, 126. We've already reviewed how to solve equations. I believe it was yesterday. So when we want to get X by itself, we want to isolate this X. We are going to subtract 26 from both sides because it is a positive 26 due to this plus sign. 26 minus 26 is 0. X plus 0 is X, so we're just left with X on this side. And then 126 minus 26 is 100. So we see that this angle has to be 100, which makes sense because 100 plus 26 gets us this whole angle of 126. That's number 12. 14, as you can already see, it's a little more involved, but it's still the same process. Instead of giving us straight numbers, they actually give us expressions so that we can set up an equation and find the value of X before actually finding the angle. So they ask us to find the measure of angle EGH, excuse me. So that's angle EGH. We don't know this. The first thing they tell us is that EGH is equal to the expression 11x plus 11. So all I did was write 11x plus 11 inside angle EGH. They then tell us the measure of angle FGE is 7x minus 2. So in this angle, FGE, I wrote the expression 7x minus 2. Finally, they tell us that the measure of angle FGH is 171. So this whole thing, F EGH, this big angle here, is 171. So just like the problem above, remember what we did for that problem, we're going to set up an equation. These two smaller angles have to equal this whole thing. So for my equation, I wrote 7x minus 2 plus this part, 11x plus 11. These are just the separate expressions, just added together. So, and it equals the whole thing. My apologies, 171. So yesterday, we talked about solving equations. So we always have to start by simplifying the sides if necessary. 171 is by its lonesome, so we just bring that down, nothing to simplify. On the left side, we have 7x and 11x. Both have an x, so they are like terms, so they can be combined. 7x plus 11x is 18x. We then want to combine our constants, negative 2 plus 11. So negative 2, again, this is negative because the subtraction sign makes this term negative. Negative 2 plus 11 gets us 9. So on the left side, we are left with 18x plus 9 equals 171. Next, to get x by itself, we have to move this term first, because when you are doing, when you are solving equations, we're using inverse operations and we're working backwards. So when we do order of operations, we would do parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, and addition and subtraction. When we're solving equations, we're working backwards. So we're actually going to start with addition and subtraction first. So we have to move this first. So we're going to subtract 9 on both sides because this addition sign makes this 9 positive. So minus 9 on both sides. 9 minus 9 is 0. 18x plus 0 is 18x. That's why we're left with 18x. On this side, we have 171 minus 9, which gets us 162. Again, same thing on both sides of the equation, on both sides of the equal sign to maintain balance of the equation. So now to remove this 18 to isolate x, we're going to use division. When a number is next to a variable, that's multiplication. To cancel multiplication, we have to do the inverse operation or the opposite. So we're dividing both sides by 18. 18 divided by 18 is 1. 1 times x is x, so we're left with x. Divide this side by 18 as well to maintain balance in the equation. 162 divided by 18 is 9. So our answer for this, part of our answer, is x equals 9. But they don't ask us to find x. They ask us to find the measure of angle EGH. So that means we have to plug it in for this expression for EGH, 11x plus 11. So we're going to plug in this 9 here for x. So we're going to get 11 times 9, which gets us 99. And 99 plus 11 gets us 110. So our final answer for the measure of angle EGH is 110 degrees. If you wanted to quickly check it, you could. So let's plug in 9 for 7. 9 times 7 is 63. 63 minus 2 is 61. So this angle is 61. 61 plus 110 gets us 171, which means we are 100% correct. So that concludes the review of the assignment from the packet that was given. Now we are going to look at the Khan Academy assignment. I didn't do that ahead of time just because I wanted you guys to be able to see what the problems look like on the Khan Academy as opposed to just redrawing them all. That would be a bit unnecessary. Okay, so you were given 2 sets. Let me double check. Yes, 2 sets for today on angles. The first one is titled Angle Types. So let's go. So we're given this angle, right? And based off what we just did, this angle is bigger than 90, but less than 180. So it is going to be C, an obtuse angle. So we would select C and move on. This angle, we didn't really talk about, but I know y'all can figure it out. When we have this angle, they're meeting at a 90-degree angle, so it's equal to 90 degrees, so this would be a right angle, B. The next 2 angles, or next 2 problems in that set were just like the first 2. It was just either, whatever ones I didn't say, I think, acute and straight, if I'm not mistaken. So I know you guys can figure that out, so I didn't even bother going through them. The next set is equation practice with angle addition. So in that set, it's kind of similar to the back of the handout that I gave out, where you're given a picture of an angle, given some equations, and you have to find the given angle. So for this particular problem, they tell us this whole thing is a straight angle. So that means they're telling us that it's equal to 180. And then they tell us that angle BOC is 6x plus 29, and angle AOB is 3x plus 124. So I'm going to set up an equation on my paper and solve that for you guys, and I'll resketch the drawing. Okay, so for that first problem I showed you, I just resketched it here, and I included the angle. So again, they told us the whole thing, angle AOC was a straight angle, so it's 180 degrees. They told us angle BOC was 6x plus 29, and they told us angle AOB was 3x plus 124. So for this problem, you want to start by setting up an equation. We know that the sum of these two smaller the sum of these two smaller angles has to be this whole thing. So this angle plus this angle has to be this whole thing. So I set up an equation, 3x plus 124 plus 6x plus 29 equals 180. So again, that's this piece plus this piece has to equal this whole thing, which is 180. Then to start solving this equation, you want to simplify this side by combining like terms. So we see our two like terms. Two of our like terms are 3x and 6x because they both have an x. 3x plus 6x is 9x. And we want to combine our constants. 24 plus 29. 24 plus 29, 124 plus 29 gets us 153. So we have 9x plus 153. We have an addition sign, so this is a positive 153. So we want to subtract 153 from both sides to get this x by itself. 9x plus 0 is 9x, so we brought down the 9x. We subtract 153 from both sides to keep the equation balanced. 180 minus 153 gets us 27. Final step to get x by itself. When a number is next to a variable, that's multiplication. Opposite of multiplication is division. So we're going to divide both sides by 9. 9 divided by 9 is 1. 1 times x is just x. So that's why we're left with x. 27 divided by 9 is 3. Remember for this problem, they asked us to find, I believe it was angle BOC. Off to the side, I kind of showed that work as well. So the expression for BOC was 6x plus 29. We found that x was 3, so we're going to replace that x with a 3. So we have 6 times 3 plus 29, and we're simplifying this expression. 6 times 3 is 18. 18 plus 29 is 47. So this angle here, BOC, is 47 degrees. If you wanted to, you could check this work by plugging in 3 here for x. So 3 times 3 is 9. 9 plus 124 is 133. So we have this angle is 133, this angle is 47. 47 plus 133 is indeed 180, which makes sense because the whole thing was supposed to equal 180. So that's the first problem from our problem set. The next problem in the problem set looks something like this. So they tell us that line or segment PQ is this symbol, starts with a P. Some of you might remember it means perpendicular. So segment PQ is perpendicular to segment PS. So that means that this segment PQ and PS are perpendicular. Perpendicular means that those two angles, those two segments meet at a right angle. So this is going to be a right angle, which we know is 90 degrees. So this whole thing right here is 90 degrees. Then they tell us that angle QRP, that's QPR, QPR is 7x minus 9, and this angle here, RPS, is 4x plus 22. So I went ahead and drew those out for you guys, and I'm going to add one more piece of information that I forgot to add. So I drew it out to kind of physically place in the information that they're giving us about the expressions. So again, they told us the whole thing, QPS, was 90 degrees. This part, QPR, excuse me. So QPR is 7x minus 9, and this part, SPR, is 4x plus 22. So remember, this angle plus this angle has to equal this whole thing, which is 90 degrees. So I went ahead and set up an equation communicating that. This first part, the first angle, 7x minus 9, plus the other angle, 4x plus 22, had to equal the whole thing, 90. To start solving this equation, we want to simplify the left side because we have like terms that can be combined. We have a positive 7x and a positive 4x. So 7x plus 4x is 11x. We have a negative 9 because of the subtraction sign. This 9 is negative. And a positive 22. Negative 9 plus 22 gets us 13. So our expression on the left side is 11x plus 13. On the right, we are still left with that 90 because we didn't touch it yet, excuse me. To start getting x by itself, we want to subtract 13 first to cancel this first. So we have a positive 13. We're going to subtract it to cancel it. 13 minus 13 is 0. 11x plus 0 is 11x. Do the same thing on both sides of the equation to keep it balanced. 90 minus 13 is 77. So we're left with 11x equals 77. Again, to get x by itself, when a number is right next to a variable that is multiplication, the inverse operation or opposite of multiplication is division. So we're going to divide both sides by 11. 11 divided by 11 is 1. 1 times x is x. So we have x remaining on the left side. 77 divided by 11 is 7. So our answer, part of our answer, is x equals 7. But they asked us in the problem to find the measure of angle QPR. So angle QPR is this angle here. QPR. So we need to plug in our x for this expression 7x minus 9. And I do that here. So we change our x to a 7 because that 7 came from here. So 7 times 7 minus 9. 7 times 7 is 49. 49 minus 9 is 40 degrees. So that means this angle here, QPR, is 49 degrees. This angle here, we know, has to be 50 because 40 plus 50 is 90, and we can check our work. So 4 times x equals 7. So 4 times 7 is 28. 28 plus 22 is 50. So indeed, our work is correct. 50 plus 40 does get us this whole thing of 90. This next problem in the set is set up a little bit more similar to the classwork assignment I gave out. So we have the measure of angle AOC, that is this whole thing, this AOC, Alexander Ocasio-Cortez, is 108 degrees. And they tell us that angle AOB is 3x plus 4, and angle BOC is 8x minus 28, and we're asked to find the measure of angle AOB. So I went ahead and drew it out. I added the angles so I could clearly see how to set up my equations. Again, you don't have to do this step if you kind of see how to set them up. So again, they told us AOB was 3x plus 4, and that's the angle we're looking for. They told us BOC was 8x minus 28. They told us this whole thing, AOC, is 108 degrees. So to set up our equation, we have to add the two smaller angles and set them equal to the larger angle, which is 108. The larger angle is 108. First angle, 3x plus 4, plus the second angle, 8x minus 28 equals 108. To solve this, start simplifying like we've been doing. Combine your like terms. 3x plus 8x is 11x. 4 and negative 28 gets us negative 24. This is a negative 28 because of the subtraction sign. So we have 11x minus 24 equals 108. We want to move the 24 first to get x by itself. So we're going to add 24 to both sides to keep the equation balanced. Negative 24 plus 24 is 0. 11x plus 0 is just 11x. 108 plus 24 is 132. Final step to get x by itself. We have a number next to a variable. That's multiplication. So we have to do the opposite, which is division. Divide both sides by 11. 11 divided by 11 is 1. 1 times x is x. 132 divided by 11 gets us 12. So our value for x is 12. Again, they ask us to find the measure of angle AOB. So we're going to plug in 12 for x here, which I did right here. So 3 times 12 plus 4 is the expression we are simplifying. 3 times 12 is 36. 36 plus 4 is 40 degrees. So just like the other problem, angle AOB is going to be 40 degrees. If you wanted to check it, you could. If we were to plug in 12 here for this x, we would have 8 times 12, which gets us 96. 96 minus 28 gets us, is that 28? Give me 1 moment, please. Okay, we were good, but that's why you check your world. So as I was saying, 8 times 12 gets us 96. 96 minus 28 gives us 68. So this angle is 68, this angle is 40. 68 plus 40 is 108. I forgot that our angle was 108. I'm like, that doesn't equal 90, but the angle is supposed to equal 108. So again, this would be 68 and this would be 40. And we'll see if one more problem looks different. So the last problem in my set was very similar to, I believe, the first problem that we did. So I didn't feel it necessary to go through that as well. But if you have any questions about your particular problems, feel free to leave a comment down below on Google Classroom. Text me, call me, or email me using that contact information that is on Google Classroom. You can also set up an appointment to do Google Hangout, so that's kind of like video chatting one-on-one. So I can help you with that particular problem when you might get some more kids in the same Google Hangout to have a little study session. Again, if you have any questions about other things you can work on to improve your grade, or anything regarding the classwork or resources outside of school that you can use to help get through this difficult time, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and I will see you soon.